I've been sports betting for over 3 years, made over $85,000 in profit, and I'm about to expose the 5 biggest mistakes that are keeping 95% of bettors from ever making consistent money. Look, I see the same patterns over and over again. Bettors who think they know what they're doing, but they're making critical errors that guarantee they'll lose money long term. These aren't just beginner mistakes either. I'm talking about bettors that have been doing this for years, still making the same fundamental errors that separate the winners from the losers. I'm going to walk you through each of these mistakes, show you exactly why they're costing you money, and most importantly, give you the exact solutions that professional bettors use to avoid these traps. And trust me, after watching this video, you'll never approach sports betting the same way again. All right, let's dive into the first mistake, and this might be the most important one on the entire list, which is not tracking your bets. I'm going to show you my actual bet tracker right now, and I want you to see something that's going to blow your mind. The bet tracker that I've been using for over 3 years that's absolutely free is OddsJam. As you can see, I've made over $85,000 in profit. I've made over 25,000 bets. Look at this data. I can tell you exactly by sportsbook, by sport, by league, by market, where I'm profitable and not profitable in. And then here's the really crazy thing. Over here in my bet tracker, you can come over here to export bets. And when you export my bets, this all pops up on an Excel spreadsheet. You can see exactly the first bet that I ever placed on OddsJam, which was on September 9th, 2021, over here on WinBet for the Steelers on the money line. I also hedged that bet with Caesars for my first bet over here on the Bills. And you can see my total investment between these two bets was $2,000. And I ended up winning over here on WinBet over $1,200 in profit. When we come back over here to my dashboard on OddsJam, you can see my first bet ever placed. The game was on September 12th. Bills, Steelers. I have almost 4 years of betting history on this Excel spreadsheet. I can filter by which sportsbook, league, market, odds range, and find out exactly where I'm profitable or not profitable. If I wanted to take this a step further, I could upload this entire document into ChatGPT and simply ask AI a bunch of questions to find out where I'm doing very well out, and then just go and attack those markets. This is the power of bet tracking, knowing exactly with all my historical data where I'm profitable and not. But what 90% of sports bettors don't do is they just place a bet, win or lose, and then they just completely forget about it. They have no idea if they're actually profitable. They have no clue what their strengths and weaknesses are. If you're not tracking your bets, you're essentially flying a plane blindfolded. You might get lucky for a while, but eventually you're going to crash. Professional bettors treat this like a business. Every single bet is data. Every result is information that shapes their future strategy. Getting started using a picket that automatically syncs up to your sports books and then shows you your results is a good start. But using OddsJam's bet tracker, which allows you then to do a deep dive and filter on this spreadsheet, that's where the real diamonds in the rough are. Bet tracking alone isn't enough. You want to be collecting this information and then using it to improve. Mistake number 2 that's costing you a ton of money is you're not line shopping. Let me show you. Line shopping makes a massive difference in your bottom line, money in your pocket. If we're looking at the aces and the wings here for this WNBA money line play, who's going to win the basketball game? You place a $100 wager over on DraftKings, that's going to pay you out $200. You could literally go and place that same $100 wager over on BetMGM and get paid out $225. That's an extra $25 in your pocket simply by placing this $100 wager on MGM compared to DraftKings. If we scroll down just a touch, speaking of this, we're looking at the point spread. Let's say you really think the Wings are going to do well today. Well, why in the world would you place this bet over on MGM at plus 5.5 at minus 105 odds when you can get the same exact price over at Caesars, but at plus 6 points? You're getting an extra half point for the same price. If you're betting $100 per game and you're taking the FanDuel line at minus 110 instead of taking the line over at Caesars at minus 105, on a $100 wager, you're literally leaving out $4.33. As you can see here, minus 105, a $100 wager pays us out $95.24 a profit. compared to $90.91. That's $4.33. If you do this another 50 times on the bets that you win, you're leaving over $215 on the table because you're simply unwilling to take the best price possible compared to what's being offered to you. Most recreational bettors have a favorite sportsbook like DraftKings or FanDuel, and they just simply accept the price that they see on the sportsbook without checking any other sportsbooks to see if they can receive a better price or more money in their pocket. And it's insane. It's like going to the most expensive gas station in town when there's a cheaper option right across the street. It makes no sense. Professional bettors never place a bet without checking at least 3 to 4 different sportsbooks' prices. They're always hunting for the best number because they understand that those small edges compound over time. This is exactly why tools like positive expected value on OddsJam exist. Instead of manually checking every sportsbook, you can see all the odds in one place and immediately identify where you're getting the best value, which in this case on Breanna Stewart over 7.5 rebounds, it would be on Ballybet because you're receiving plus odds. A $100 wager is going to pay you out $104, where over here on DraftKings, you'd have to put up $115 just to make $100. Mistake number 3 is probably the most misunderstood concept in all of sports betting, which is closing line value, or CLV. Most bettors think success is measured by wins and losses. I went 7-3 this week. I must be doing really well, but that's completely wrong. Professional bettors measure success by one metric. Are you consistently beating the closing line value? Because if you're not, you're going to lose money long term, even if you're winning more bets than you lose. Let me explain with a real example. Let's say that you bet the Lakers +3 at -110 odds on Monday morning. But by game time that night, you can get the Lakers at +1.5 at -110 odds. You got to play at +3 while the market closed at +1.5. You beat the closing line by 1.5 points. That's positive closing line value, and it's the most important indicator in long-term success. Here's why this matters. The closing line is the most efficient price. It represents the collective wisdom of thousands of bettors and millions of dollars in action. And so in this example with the Yankees and the Mariners, I placed this bet at +107 odds. It closed at +102 odds. I had 5 cents of closing line value where I beat the price, and this bet won. So the idea here is that if you're consistently beating the closing line, like I am here at 64%, you're demonstrating that you can identify value before the market corrects itself, and that's the definition of a sharp bettor. I don't care if you went 8-2 on your bets last weekend. If you received negative closing line value on those plays, you got lucky, and your luck will run out. OddsJam tracks your closing line value when you utilize their bet tracker, which allows you to see how you're performing against this critical metric. Mistake number 4 is something that I constantly see from new bettors, which is betting too many games. I get it. You love sports. There's a game on almost every night and you want action. But betting more games doesn't equal more profits. In fact, it's usually the opposite. The more games that you bet, the more likely you are to make poor decisions and bet on games that don't have any real edge. Making sure that you find high quality plays and then place a large quantity of those high quality plays is extremely important. Making sure that you have some type of edge, defining where your edge is coming from when you're utilizing a software, that's how you're actually going to be profitable long term. Not just placing a bet because it feels right. This is where the positive EV tool over at OddsJam becomes invaluable. Instead of betting on random games, you can focus only on the plays that show positive expected value. Quality over quantity every single time. And guys, if you want to try OddsJam 1 week for free and then save 35% off your first month after the 1-week trial ends, use my code BILLYC. It'll be linked in the description. If you found value in the content to this point, make sure to smash that subscribe button. Click that thumbs up button and tap that bell notification so you don't miss the next video that we release. And this brings me to my 5th and final mistake, which drives me insane. You're not using some type of software or tools to help you in your sports betting journey. We live in 2025. There's sophisticated tools and software out there like OddsJam that helps you find plays with an edge, helps you track all of your bets, then helps you make better informed decisions moving forward. Yet most sports bettors are handicapping this on a pen and paper using their gut treating this like it's 1985. I mean, look at this opportunity right here on OddsJam's arbitrage tool between DraftKings and Fliff, day trading the sports books. Put $150 down on DraftKings, $60 down on Fliff. We have $210 totally invested. No matter if this over or under hits, we're going to receive our $210 back plus either $9 or $23 in profit. This isn't opinion, it's math. So many sports bettors are trying to handicap this on their own, using their gut or asking their buddies, what do you feel this weekend? It's like showing up to a Formula One race on a bicycle, and you might be the best cyclist in the world, but you're using the wrong equipment for the job. Professional bettors embrace technology. They use every available tool out there for them because they know any edge that they can gain gives them a leg up on the competition. Using tools like OddsJam level the playing field if you're new to sports betting. It gives you the same type of access that these professional betting syndicates use, but at a fraction of the cost. Football season is right around the corner. How'd your strategy work out last season? If your answer is, not that well, then click this video right here. It's going to walk you through my best markets, like how I made over $3,800 betting on anytime touchdown scores. Going to show you the exact odds range in sports books so that you can copy and paste this strategy starting week 1 to crush the sports books.